All right. Hey. Happy Monday, everyone. Oh my gosh. What a week last week. Hey, Nicolette. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Yasna. Oh, so good to see you all here. Yes. Hi, Holly. Yay, Holly. Wonderful. Oh, I gotta say, I had quite the week, like I mentioned in the post for class today. So I was like, you know what? Today is going to be a little bit of restorative day because I just woke up so exhausted. So I was like, okay, in order to, survive and be able to get through this week, which will be a bit shorter in terms of like live streams, but I still have a really big day Thursday, which is why I won't be teaching. So I'm just gonna do my best to preserve my energy until that day. Oh, hi, Sarah Hall. Thanks, Holly. Funny enough, I taught my Ashtanga and Ashtanga Vinyasa masterclass yesterday, and right after me and my husband Kumar, we jumped into the ocean, and I just wet. I mean, we took a shower, but I didn't do like any styling. I just let it air dry, and somehow it turned out okay. I feel like bangs just require a lot more attention or else they can get very unruly. So, you know how that goes. But thank you. Yes, salty bangs. Salt water does really great things for my hair. My real texture comes out, like all my kind of waves and curlies come out, and I'm always like, oh wow. So I'm going to talk about what we're going to do today, and I'm going to put my bolster cover back on my bolster because I washed it. I was like, it's time to wash the bolster cover. So our plan for today is, oh, is that it? Okay, I guess that's all I get. So our plan for today is to begin restorative and then move into a flow, but it's not going to be like crazy. We're just going to, do a little bit. And then kind of end, I don't know what just flew onto my face. And then kind of, end the way most yoga classes do, which is kind of chill. I'm feeling, and I would love for you to chime in too on like what your body's needing today. My legs are feeling pretty sore. My back feels pretty sore. And just kind of like shoulder back girdle, like all of that could just use a little TLC. So let me know if there's something in particular that you need in the chat. And if you're somehow joining off of Patreon and you're like, well, I want to chat, feel free to, hop into the corner. And I think there's like a YouTube symbol that if you click it, it should take you outside of just like the Patreon post so that you can participate in chat. So let me know what you're thinking, because yesterday was, the Ashtanga class was intenso. We taught a lot of binds, a lot of inversions, and then we worked on drop backs, like going from standing into wheel, right? And then, of course, all the like jump through transitions and shit. So it's just like, the body is tired, but it is willing. Okay, Holly, a little low back love. I like that. I'm into it. Oh my God, is it the new moon today? Legs and back for Sarah. I love that. Okay, good. New moon, August 2023. Okay, no, it's not for a couple more days. I was like, hold the fuck on. New moon in Leo, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so on Thursday, almost, okay. I was just like looking at my moon chart really quick because I kind of have them on like multiple formats. Like, funny enough, I don't know if you guys can see this. It does have some cat hair. But this is like a device that I use for streaming. It's called a loop deck. And it kind of lets me like switch through scenes and kind of modulate things with one hand so that I don't have to use my mouse. And I do have this function on it that tells me what moon phase I'm in. So for a second there, it looked full or new, technically. Okay. I think we're ready to do this, everybody. I know I'm ready. I'm ready to just become a starfish on the floor. So let's do it. Let go. Boop. All right. Oh, I just want to sleep. Maybe for class today, we'll just sleep. We'll just extend our sleepy time. Playlist-wise, anything and everything's kind of open. I'm just kind of listening to the playlist I made for yesterday because it was kind of just whatever, kind of chill, kind of relaxed. For today, again, blocks and something soft like a bolster or a blanket would be, you know, pretty helpful for class. We'll start seated on your butt. And if you feel like you need some support like right away from the jump, then you can take your blankie or your bolster and place it underneath you, yeah? Every time I step into any kind of movement practice, it's always really important to me to begin with my breath, yeah? And in particular, in a yoga asana practice, your breath or your pranayama is central, right? I like to even think of our breath practice as something that precludes any type of movement. It's the thing that leads us. It's our little beacon that we follow. So we'll just take some full, complete inhalations and exhalations, trying to use as much of our lung capacity as we can. Sometimes I take some really deep breaths and just feel like crying. I'm also really hormonal right now, you guys. I am luteal as fuck. My boobs hurt, I'm tired, and I'm very hungry. Welcome to Monday, where Tracy's inside thoughts become outside thoughts. All right, we'll take one more breath in here. And with your exhale, we'll lower our chin down towards our chest. And we're just going to take some gentle neck movement, so just a little side to side. If you want to do full circles, you can. And we'll reverse these directions. Normally my neck doesn't feel good doing full circles, but it feels really good today, so I'm pretty pleased. All right, we'll meet all the way back in a center position. And we'll place our hands on tops of our thighs. I'm going to turn towards you for this. And I want you to kind of point your elbows out to the side. So it's like you have little bulldog arms. And I want you to just move your ribs from right to left. I'm also slightly like pitched forwards. Yeah. So I'm not like stacking my shoulders up over hips. I'm just trying to get some space into my ribs. All right, and we'll realign, restack. We'll bring our hands now to the fronts of our shin bones, and we'll roll back onto our tailbones. Yeah. Now inhale, drag yourself forward, open up through the chest by squeezing your back muscles together. Seated cat-cows. Sorry, I had to burp. Drank a whole bunch of water. All right, now as we do our last like 10, 15 seconds or so, if you want to turn this into barrel rolls or Sufi grinds, you can. I always like doing these because they feel really good for my hip and spine collectively as a unit. I'm going to reverse it. All right, and then we'll meet ourselves back to center, and whichever leg is in front in your crisscross, I want you to wiggle that foot forwards a bit, yeah? Sit up nice and tall, and then move forward to get a stretch in your hips. This is where blocks can come in handy if you don't feel like you're ready to place your hands or your forearms on the ground. Your hands or your forearms can make it onto some blocks. Now my front leg is very active. If you notice, I've got it flexed here, or dorsiflexed. I was like, what is the word? I was like, is it dorsy or plantar? Plantar flexion is when you point your toes because the plantar muscles flex. Dorsy, plantar flexion. Again, Tracy's inside thoughts are outside thoughts today, so we'll see what kind of silly things I say today in class. And maybe you started on blocks, but you're like feeling like, oh, my hips have kind of opened up a bit. I'm going to take it a little bit deeper for the last 10 seconds of this stretch. All right, now we'll walk ourselves up, and whichever leg you wiggled forwards, I actually want you to kick it out towards the side. And what you should kind of land in is a shape called Janu Shirshasana, except we're not doing it straight ahead. We're gonna do it a little bit kicked out to whatever side you're on. Side body stretches. So whichever arm is opposite that extended leg, reach it up to the sky and take a side body stretch. Squeaky heels. All right, we'll bring ourselves all the way back up. And then we'll square off the chest over that leg and move forwards over it into a hamstring stretch. Let's bring y'all back up. And we're gonna go opposite crisscross, yeah? Which always feels just a little strange. So whichever leg you happen to end up being in front of, heel toe it forward. Same thing, activate it, right? Dorsiflex it. And then we'll lengthen out through the spine and move forwards over that hip. I really like doing this particular hip opener. To me, it's a really great way to modify double pigeon, which double pigeon is, to me, like the meanest version of pigeon you can do. So know if at any time you're in a class they throw out double pigeon and it's just way too tough for you at that moment, this is a great way to make it happen for you. Now, same thing, blocks can be your buddies, right? I just feel good, so I'm just gonna go for it. Bringing my forearms down to the ground. All right, let's bring ourselves all the way back up. Leg that is in front will extend out so we can get set up for Janu Shirshasana, side 2. Opposite arm to that extended leg is gonna reach up, and we'll take a side body stretch. If you ever deal with the feeling of like tight hips, low back, this is one of my favorite ways to get a little bit of space into those areas. Great, one more breath in. And exhale, we'll bring it all the way back up. Now let's square the torso towards that extended leg and then move into a more true hamstring stretch. This is also a stretch where I start to become very aware of how my toes look. Maybe today is pedicure day for me. All right, kiddos, let's bring ourselves all the way back up. And we're gonna kind of come back towards center and bring our feet together. Baddha Konasana, or bound angle position. We're gonna do this 2 different ways. We're gonna do a backline activator, and then we're gonna release the backline with a fold. So I want you to press your little feet together, take your hands by your side, fingertips face forward or back. Really, it's personal preference. And we're gonna squeeze and lift up through the hips, yeah? I like this one because it gets into the front line of my shoulders and I'm getting a hip opener. Nice, last 3, 2, and 1. Hips down. Bring yourself up and forwards through the legs. Now we get truly into that low back with our Baddha Konasana fold. All right, we'll do one more breath here. And then we'll walk ourselves up. And we're gonna do another backline activator, but this time with the feet a little bit different. So we'll do reverse tabletop. Feet are on the ground in parallel facing the front. Hands will come by your side, and same exact thing. You'll lift yourself up. Maybe you're able to get a little more elevation and a little more space. You can also let your head fall back. God. All right, hips come back down to the ground. And let's actually slide our legs all the way long in front of us. Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold. All right, let's bring ourselves all the way up from here. We'll scoot ourselves down the mat, and we're gonna lay down onto our backs. Bring your knees with you as you lay down, and just take a little rock side to side with your hips and with your knees. This shape should also feel really, really good for low backs, tight hips. All right. We're going to take both of your knees, and just because the camera is where it's at, we're actually going to start our twist towards the left. So that means your knees are going to go to your right. Oh, thank you for the little back crack. All right, so left arm is reaching out to the side, right? My palm is facing up, and we're actually going to do half snow angels. So as you're laying here in this twist, I just want you to drag your arm up and down. Nice. Now maybe you try it with the palm down. So we're working internal rotation. And then we'll try to do a combination. So turn your palm up the next time it's down by your bum. Sweep the arm up. And then internally rotate it or turn the palm down and sweep back down. Good, let's do that 3 more times. So palm up as you go up. Palm down as you go down. Last time, palm up as you go up. And palm down as you go down. Now let's bring your arm back to straight out from the hip socket, and we're gonna turn the palm down and we're gonna anchor it there. Right arm is gonna do the same thing, so palms down so that you have a little bit of pressure, right? We're gonna do a leg chase. Sounds intense, but it's really not. Your left leg is gonna open first, right? Maybe you get it kind of pointing up to the sky, and then you'll come through center. The right leg is just gonna have to lift until you get all the way over to the other side. And we're just gonna go back and forth, leg chase. Oh, this feels so good. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. My low back wanted to crack. I had to give it a little bit extra. All right. The next time you do a leg chase all the way over to the left-hand side, so both knees are over to your left, let's keep them there. And we're gonna do all that same stuff on the other side. So right palm is gonna turn up. We're just gonna drag it up and down. Shoulder is a little snap, crackly, poppy. All right, try palm down, so internally rotated. Probably gonna feel a little bit less mobility doing that, especially when you get up towards the top. All right, let's do a combo. So the next time the arm is down by your hip, palm down, flip it palm up to reach up. Palm down to go down. Palm up to go up. Palm down to go down. Yeah. 2, or maybe just one more time because we only did it 3 times. Yeah. And then we'll bring it all the way back towards that center, like out position, right? Palms down. And we're gonna do another leg chase. You can do it again, same way in that bent position, or you can fully extend through your legs, open and open. Yeah. So bent leg or straddle. All right, we'll make our way all the way back to a center position, and we'll go both of your legs up to the sky long, just like they are here, yeah? Palms will turn up, and I just want you to feel gravity, yeah? This sense of inversion for your legs, yeah? You can be totally still and just try to let them relax a little bit, right? Bringing that softness into the knees. Or you can do, some stuff with the ankles. I was kind of doing a little bit of it. So rolling them out, working through your ankle range of motion, pointing and flexing. All right, and then we'll curl up like a little ball. We'll bring our knees into a bend and we'll do some rocks and rolls. So up and down the length of your mat. Oof. Great. And we're gonna rock and move all the way through to a tabletop position. So all 4s, hands and knees. And we'll take about a minute here to do spine warm-ups and wrist warm-ups. So typical spine warm-ups, cat-cows, which we've done, right? Full circles, which we've done. You can even do some lateral cat-cows. Wrist warm-ups, shift forwards and backwards, right? Turning the fingertips out, moving side to side. So I want you to just assess for yourself what your body wants today. And you can even combine your wrist and your spinal warm-ups. Yeah. Great. Last 10 seconds or so. All right. And then we're going to go into a downward facing dog. So toes tuck, lift up your hips, and work into that A shape for your body. Great, we'll do one more breath. And then we'll take both of our knees down to the ground again. And we're gonna do rock position. Similar to your child's pose, except the arms are behind you. So palms are facing up, forehead comes down to the ground. And I just want you to allow your shoulders to collapse forwards. Sometimes when I'm in these shapes, I just want to wiggle and jiggle a little bit. All right. We'll keep your legs as they are, but we'll bring our hands back down to the ground and we'll push ourselves up to a kneeling position. Yeah. A little bit of work for your ankles. We're gonna wrap our right hand around our right knee. Left hand can go onto a block or the ground to help support you. I want us to try to lift up our right leg. Yeah. All right, we'll return our right knee down. We'll do the same thing other side. So left hand wraps around the left knee. All right, we'll bring it back down. And to give you a break, we'll tuck your toes and sit in our Virasana. Yeah, I'm realizing my feet and my calves feel very sore and put out today. I was teaching, I also forgot that I taught this whole fucked up single-legged balance pistol squat routine yesterday, so yikes. All right. We'll keep our feet like so. We'll bring our hands down to the ground and we'll push ourselves back, heel toe the feet open so that we're in a forward fold. Oh, that actually feels really good. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're in our forward fold, right? If you feel really far from the ground and you're not able to like push into the ground, we usually do this 1 foot at a time, but we're gonna try to roll to the pinky toe side edges of both of our feet, right? And go deeper into our fold. So my big toe ball mound and pretty much like all of my toes are lifted up and off of the ground. Oh my God, that fucking hurts so bad. Oh. All right, bring your feet back down flat to the ground. Oh my God. We'll bend into your knees and we'll roll ourselves all the way up to standing. Shake out your legs a little bit. Great, take a little walk to the front and grab a little bit of water. All right, for this next part, we're gonna do a little bit of flow. I'm gonna angle this up just a scotch. And a lot of this flow stuff is gonna be, still intense for the legs and stuff, but should feel pretty good. Hope everybody's feeling good. You feeling good? I'm feeling good. Feeling like my life is coming back. All right, blocks can also be really helpful for these next sections. So if you want, you can stick them at the top of your mat. All right, In place, Surya Namaskar A or Sun A. You can do these hip width distance or together traditional, whatever you want. So arms are going to reach up with a breath in. Yeah. And with your exhale, fold forwards, hinge from your hips and work down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. And with your exhale, forward fold. Great. Flat spine, let's rise all the way back up to standing. And exhale, hands come to heart center, Samastitihi. Inhale, reach your arms up. And with your exhale, fold forwards. Nice inhale, halfway lift. And with your exhale, forward fold. Nice long spine, rise all the way up to standing again. Exhale, bring hands to heart, center, Samastitihi, reset. Inhale, reach up. And with your exhale, forward fold. Nice, inhale, halfway lift. And with your exhale, let's fold and stay there. Padangusthasana. Fingertips are going to wrap around your big toes. Let's try to pull the elbows out and drag you a little bit deeper towards your legs. Great. Last breath in. And last breath out. Release your fingertips from around your toes. Press up like you're working into half lift, but snatch up your blocks if you've got them. Center your right foot between them and step your left foot back behind you. Lunge. I always like to do hip flexor hamstring flossers because doing split work is important damn near every day of your life. Wow, hip flexors are angry today. All right, last 3. Last 2. And let's meet with our front leg long on 1. We're going to take our back foot and just hop it in a little bit. And we're going to pivot all of our toes over to the right. And we're going to walk ourselves and our blocks over to the right. So just a little twisty guy. Should feel this potentially, or could feel this potentially into your outer hips, maybe your groin. Definitely a lot through the hamstrings, calf muscles if you're tight in that space. All right, we'll bring ourselves all the way back towards center. Great, and we're gonna go deeper into your quads and hip flexors. So left knee can lower down onto the ground, or you can grab up your blanket or bolster and place that onto the ground. It's really nice. It gives you so much padding and so much space. That is intense. All right, we'll spend 2 more breaths here in stillness. Great. Now, whether your knee is on the ground or a block, we'll elevate it up and off of the ground and then adjust your left foot to basically get set up for warrior 2. So you'll lift and you'll stack. Arms are gonna reach towards the front and back. You don't have to worry about your props. Just let them exist underneath you. We'll lengthen through the right leg and find reverse triangle, right? So triangle, we've got 2 long legs. Try to get all that space through the side body. And then with your exhale, let's go into triangle pose. a block is right here for you. So you can place that hand on the block to the inside of the leg, or you could even trade these and find your hand on the block that's to the outside of the leg. All right, let's return hands back onto their blocks. We'll square you off towards the front. Now let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Good. We'll work into a halfway lift, and with your exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way back up towards a standing position. And then I want you to take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, press your palms together. If this grip is not attainable for you, you can also like hold on to a strap. Sometimes if I'm wearing a t-shirt even, I'm just going to turn my palms behind me, place my thumbs into my shirt, and then grip the edge, right? And we're gonna do a forward fold with this. So I typically like to do this with my feet hip width distance or even slightly wider. All right, we'll bend our elbows, release our hands down. We'll find our hands onto the blocks. We'll center our left foot, step our right foot back, and we're gonna go through your hip flexor hamstring stretchers, yeah? So front line of the body opens, my bolster's there, so I'm just gonna touch it with my knee. And then back into my hamstring. Great, last two. And last one. We'll meet with our front leg long. We'll bring the back foot in a little bit, and we're gonna go for that twisted position. So now your feet will turn to your left. We'll walk the blocks and our hands over to the left, and I like to think about halfway lift spine, yeah? That way I really get to target, for me at least, this is where I feel it, is in my outer hips. Yep. All right. Let's bring ourselves back towards the front, and we'll lower our right knee down onto the block or bolster or blanket or whatever. And we're just finding stillness here. Good, you guys. The last two breaths. All right. We'll tuck our toes, lift up our back knee, and we'll get set up for warrior two on the other side. So adjust the right foot out, work the arms to your front and back positions. Now we'll lengthen through the left leg. We'll find reverse triangle with an inhale breath. And with your exhale, let's head into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So left arm can work down onto your blocks, the one in front or the one behind your leg. I prefer the one behind my leg because it really encourages me to stack on top of myself in this hip opening position. Okay. Well, let's bring ourselves back to our OG front. Yeah. We'll step the right foot forwards. On side one, we did Padangusthasana or big toe pose. So we wrapped our peace fingers around our big toes. You can do that one again, or you can work deeper and go for Padahastasana or hands to feet pose. So I like to lift up my front foot of one foot, slide my hand with the fingertips facing my heels, trying to get my toes all the way up to my wrists, and then I do that on the other side. And then same thing, I like to bend my elbows, pull myself deeper. All right, we'll take our hands out from underneath our feet or out from around our big toes. And again, we'll rise all the way up towards standing for the very last time. Hands are going to come towards heart center. And we'll step our feet out, turning them out, because we're going to go into Malasana or wide squat. If you know you want to just take a more restorative version of this, you can always set yourself up to land your bum on your bolster or even on your blocks. But knees are going to bend. And we'll sink and work our way down. Good. Think about activating here. Lengthening through your spine. Sometimes I even like to give my butt cheeks a little squeeze to remind myself. All right, we'll do one more breath here. And then we'll bring our hands down to the ground. Right, I'm just leaning forward a little bit, and I'm going to lift my hips back up. Now we're going to heel toe our feet closer together. And I want you to lift up your heels a little bit, turn the toes out slightly, and then start to bend into your knees so that you're working your bum down towards your heels. Now blocks can be your friend here as you try this different version. I've heard this called garland pose. Haven't taught garland pose in a while. So you're just kind of balanced up on your big toe ball mounds with the feet slightly turned out. Maybe you feel like you don't need the blocks and you can actually balance here and bring your hands up onto your thighs. Nice. Last 3. We're gonna stay through these legs for 2. And let's bring the hands down towards the ground. If you happen to bring them onto blocks, scoot the blocks out of your way because we're gonna reach forward, almost like we're in a child's pose, but with the knees pointed out. Great, last 3. I know this can be a lot for your knees. We're getting out of it. In 2. And 1. Let's shift the knees forward, untuck your toes, and then we're gonna go into a true child's pose. So arms reach forward in front of you, right? If you feel like you wanna do this with some blocks under your arms too, you can do that. But we're in our last 10 minutes of class. Everything from here on out is on the ground. All right, from that child's pose, we'll bring ourselves up and we'll sit off to one side. We're gonna do 1 balance and dynamic position to end our flow, our like more intensive section, I guess, versus a restorative. So this is actually something that I taught yesterday out of the Ashtanga primary series. So feet are just a little bit wide on your mat and you'll reach and grab for your toes, right? We've been reaching and grabbing for toes a couple times in today's class. Now the challenging part of this, either you're just gonna try to flex your feet and sit up tall through your spine, right? Or you shift back and you try to lengthen out through your legs. Nice. Now ask yourself right now if you trust me. Some of you do. Maybe some of you don't because we're new here, right? I'm a new person to you. But I want you to contract through the spine, right? And see if you can roll all the way back and into like a little tucked position. I was like, my fucking microphone's gonna fly when I do this. Now, fingertips are still on your toes, right? I want you to see if you can roll all the way back forwards into that same seated position. Let's see if I can do it today. I did it yesterday. Catch. Yes. And if you tried it one time and you're like, I can do that better, try it again, yeah? Oh. Yay! All right, let's try to bring these legs in together, right? So we're in our boat position, balance through the toes. You can also try to release and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bring your feet down to the ground. Good job, everybody. Woo! All right. We're going to finish with a couple of little back bends with restorative options. So 1 block will come with you. And we'll pick up your hips and slide a block underneath you for supported bridge. This is great. We love supported bridge. If you would rather take an active version, right? You were kind of looking forward to some power today. You can totally take a bridge without a block. If you're still in your bridge position, whether that's a restorative one, an active one, or even if you took it through some deeper back bends, we'll elevate and we'll release, taking the block off and out to the side. Nice job. Both knees come in towards your chest. And you can stay right here in this, technically called Apanasana, or you can take Ananda Balasana or Happy Baby. So soles of the feet work towards the sky. All right, my darlings. Now, if there's any last shapes that you want to take from here that I didn't cue, feel free to take them. Or we will just finish at this moment and take our final meditation. There's plenty of props around you. And if you want to use those props, here's some ideas. Your bolster can come underneath your knees, right? Really nice to take a little bent leg position here. Sometimes I like to combine that with some blocks so that my feet feel like they're floating. Yeah, it's really lovely. If you would rather take this bolster, put it under your back lengthwise or across, turn this into more of a back bend, that's another option. And we'll take another big breath here. And as the next breaths start to roll, taking maybe some gentle movement with your hands and your fingers, ankles and wrists. And we'll take a big stretch out. Bringing ourselves back up to a seat or even off to one side. Thank you guys for coming. And thank you for being so willing to take a different practice with me today. I feel really good. I feel really restored. Yeah, I feel good. Oh. Ooh. Thanks, Richard. So wonderful to have you all. Thank you, Yasna. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Just had a feeling. So for the rest of the week, a little bit of a modified schedule. Thank you, Sarah. Tomorrow, I'll be teaching those 2 bar classes and powers that I normally do at Soho. Wednesday, we have Quick Core, 10 a.m., so same time as this one. That's noon if you are Central, 1 o'clock if you are on the Eastern time. And for my friends that are across the pond, 5 or 6 hours past that. And then I'm gonna, I'm not gonna teach Thursday this week because I'm gonna be on 2 different sets. So I can't wait to share you guys what I'm cooking up on Thursday. Very excited. So that's it. After Wednesday, I won't be seeing y'all until the following Monday. Yeah? I'm giving myself off Friday through Sunday. And I'm excited. I'm ready to chill out this weekend, All right, my darlings. Thank you again for coming. I'm going to hop off quickly because I'm going to teach a private here in 25 minutes, and I want to give myself time to eat some lunch. So take good care of yourself today, yeah? Ride this little vibe into your Monday and into the week. Oh my God, Nicolette. So for those of you that don't know, Marmalade is a cat, a sweet little orange kitty baby. And knowing that, Nicolette, just made my day. So thank you. Oh my God. I would pay Pi $100 to sleep on my stomach during Shavasana. Bye, Yasna. Thank you for coming. Everybody, thank you for coming. You too. Oh, adore you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. See you next time.